What is up, my fellow Chibits? Hopefully all of you are having a very, very good day today, and hopefully all of you continue to have many, many great days ahead of you, because today I'm here to bring all of you a new anime review of ACCA, a new series from Winter of Anime 2017. Now, before any of you ask, yes, I got a haircut, because I know many of you are going to be saying some stuff, and so before you go into the comments and say, Chibi, did you get a haircut? I'm just going to answer for you right now. Yes, I got a haircut. Now, with that being said, let's dive into this new episode of ACCA. Okay, so this episode is a very interesting way to depict individual characters that are not what they seem to be. For instance, all the characters that were introduced with the first episode, and in this episode introducing these new characters, this episode shows that all the characters on the surface, they seem to be completely different from what most likely is going on inside. What I'm getting at is throughout majority of this episode, many are constantly stating about our main male character, Gene, that he is apparently someone that's trying to start a rebellion. He has this side to him to where most likely he's going to try to cause it to where there's going to be turmoil, a rebellion's going to start, and, you know, everybody's going to get into, you know, some trouble or issues is going to arise. And everybody's saying you need to watch Gene. He seems very suspicious. And this is constantly said about the main male character throughout the episode. And the main thing that pops up in our minds, or my mind when I was watching it, was like, this character, Gene, he doesn't seem to be like that. When we're sitting here watching him, the way he's interacting with everyone around him, the way he's going about auditing different places and stuff, it doesn't seem like he's necessarily an evil dude, someone that would want to start a rebellion. But we don't really know, because, I mean, there's more to him, obviously. We know there's some things that we don't understand about him, because one of the big things about his character is we don't understand his motive. We don't know what he really stands for completely, and that can be said for all of our characters when it comes to ACCA. It's not just for the main male character, but for all of our characters, to Crow, to the politicians, to everybody in the office of ACCA, all of them, all these different characters, even the little sister. We don't understand all the motives of the individual characters. We really don't, but we do know that on the surface, they're more than they appear. I mean, look at the way Gene was in this episode. I mean, he seems like a guy that seems down to earth, he cares and all that, he's just trying to do his job, but then he easily finds out information that he shouldn't be able to find. I mean, let's look at the cop at the beginning of this episode. Somehow, Gene just found out, like, you know, this dude was watching him, and he had this guy following him around. He's like, I'm being watched. He even said that in, you know, last week's episode, but then he finally figured out who it was, and he managed to get all this information on this dude, find out his past, all of this stuff, and then he's like, you know what, it's not my job to really put you down or turn you in or whatever. It's not in my jurisdiction, but overall, though, you know, you just need to stop doing this type of shit. And he's like, give me back my lighter. And for the character Gene to be able to do something like that, go out of his way and discover this information about a character like this, it makes you wonder, how did he get this information? How did he go that far to get all of this information about someone that supposedly is not a part of his jurisdiction? Like, I mean, if you're a part of this, you know, business like ACCA and all that, and you have to do investigate and audit different places and stuff, and if this is not part of your job, how did you get that information if it's not part of your job in the first place? On top of that, let's look at the cigarette stuff. Like, you know, when it comes to his tobacco, we got some world building with this episode that apparently tobacco is heavily taxed. So it's for the rich. It's for people that, you know, want to have a luxury type of item. And that's kind of what tobacco is in this world. So you can't just go out of there and have, you know, regular people just buying tobacco all the time and smoking cigarettes, because it's very expensive. And that's what was even stated in this episode of ACCA. So the main male character going around constantly smoking and all that, having a lighter and stuff, it shows that there's something else off about him. I mean, it seems like he's giving off this atmosphere that he is rich. That's even what the cop says that was stalking. He's like, you have to be a rich person. I mean, look, your tobacco, the way you are, the way you're an ACCA, all this type of stuff all around your character, where you live, it just seems like you're a type of person that's very rich. But then the character's like, no, I'm not very rich. I'm not a rich person at all. I'm not. I'm just the landlord of the house, and, you know, yeah, I just get my cigarettes for free. He gets all his tobacco for free. I mean, that raises even more questions. world. Why does this character get tobacco for free? On top of that, I mean, the way his character is designed now, we do know there's a way more to it than what we really know. Like I said, we were supposedly being told throughout this episode that he's trying to start some form of rebellion, but in reality, from what we have seen from his character, it doesn't seem like he's trying to do that. But we do know that something is going on with this character for him to be able to even get this information on this stalker cop. But on top of that, how he gets his tobacco for free in a world to where everything else is being charged. For instance, tobacco is being charged heavily, and so you normally shouldn't be able to get something like this. So there's a lot of questions that are raised with that. Looking at all the other characters too, like the politicians, to the people that are inside of ACCA, like the top tier people and all that, all of them just seem to have their own agenda, doing their own thing, and they're not really revealing what they really want, which goes back to how the main male character is. All their motives are a mystery. We don't know what everyone is really trying to do, what their real angle is. Everybody seems like they're out for themselves, trying to do their own thing, and maybe some are working together, but overall, only a few really have, the same, agenda, while all the others seem to have something different going on behind the scenes. So the series really has this nice mystery about it, and I honestly did not expect to have that type of theme to watching ACCA. I mean, I thought this was going to be like a slice of life series, going around, just, auditing different parts of the organization. That was about it. That's all I assumed the series is going to be about, but this episode clearly surprised me with the direction it went, to the, also the style of the way the characters are being written, and I mean, also the beautiful art and animation definitely makes the series even better, along with that glorious music, which, holy shit, as I said with last week's first impressions, I love ACCA's music. The music is probably by far my favorite music of Winter of Anime 2017, and just hearing this music once again, it's so good. It fits this series so well. I mean, when you hear that opening song start up and all, it's just such a different vibe from what you normally see from anime, and I'm like, this is such a good fucking series. That's not even getting into the writing of the series in a way it's trying to be very mature, and like I said, I love the style of the writing right now. Many might look at this series and say it's very boring, like, how I said with the first episode. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot that happened, but in reality, that was the writing style of the series, and now I'm starting to understand what the series is really about. It wasn't that it was slow, it's just I didn't get the bigger picture of how the series is actually being written. And it's a series that's not trying to give us a whole lot. It's making us have to piece everything together and realize what the fuck is going on here. Why is these characters doing this? Are they really what they appear to be? I mean, is this really a good person or is this a bad person? I mean, even the best friend of the main male character, Gene, and how this person, Crow, has been watching him for a very long time, and it doesn't seem like Gene really realizes that his best friend, or someone he's known for a very long time, is watching and spying on him, but we don't know if Gene is already aware of this, or if he isn't aware of this. We don't really have any ideas at all. We do, however, know that Gene does have connections to be able to find out information about people, and also stop people from following him around when, he wants to be alone and not be watched. So yeah, overall, the newest episode of ACCA, a very good episode. Cannot wait to see what happens next with the series. I'm excited for episode 3 next week, and please let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below, how you feel about this series. I love you all so much. I wish you all a very great day today. Please be safe. I love you all. Chibi out.